Good afternoon and welcome to my living room, dining room. This is where I eat my meals, and this video is another Facebook Marketplace deal. And I hope too many people's jaws haven't hit the floor when they see what I've got on the table today. So I've really had this urge to fly, as some of you might have surmised by some of the recent purchases I've made, but I just simply do not have the means or the desire to comply with local regulations, AMA, and that type of thing. But yet I can still fly, and I can fly things like this on my partner's property, which is the reason why I purchased this. So what I've got here today, just picked it up today, an Eflite UMX air tractor. In fact, the funny thing about this is I happened to be perusing through Facebook about 4 or 5 days ago, and I saw this and I was like, wow, that's really cool. It's not super tiny, so I should be able to fly it outside if there's a light breeze. And it's exactly like that air tractor crop duster that I just took a short video of and posted a week and a half or so ago. So that's kind of what really brought me over the edge of purchasing this. Now this was on sale, it was brand new. The fellow had it for, I don't know, these things came out a couple of years ago, I think. And the fellow had it, he said it was new, he never used it, he just has too many airplanes to fly. So it is brand new. The only thing that's missing from this only thing that's missing from this box is a little piece of Velcro that I put on my battery to put in there to secure it. So I got to try and figure something out there. I need to go and get some Velcro. But anyway, so this is just an introductory video. So I went and I did some research on this because I am not that knowledgeable about electrics at all. And as many of you know, I have dabbled in electrics in the past a little bit. I had an Eflite Valiant, man, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, and I loved that plane. It flew wonderfully. It was awesome. And I had a little bitty P-47 that I flew, a park flyer. So I've had some electrics in the past. They're obviously not my preferred method of flying, but in a pinch and in a small area, and when you don't want to comply with other rules and regulations, that's the way to go, and that's why I'm here. So I purchased this. I was doing some research. I got the batteries, went to my local Hobby Town USA. They had a couple of batteries. So I got the 30C3S 11.7 volt 300 milliamp hour battery is the biggest battery that's specified for this. And I took my charger and balance board and all that stuff in there and was trying to figure out if what I had for chargers was fine, which it turned out it is fine, so I've got that covered. And luckily I had to dig out my DX6E, which someone purchased this and gave this to me probably 10 years ago. This is rather old. It's not super used. I used it some. Typically the last few things I was using this for was just for my flight simulator. But so I had to pull that out, put some new batteries in it, pull out the huge manual on this thing, and that's what we've got here. So I'm going to pull this out real quick. I'm sure many of you have seen one of these things before, so this isn't going to really be any big shock. But it's fun to show and tell a little bit. And grab that, the battery, and I'll just kind of toss this off to the side real quick. And yes, Sasha is sleeping. So here's the battery I got. I just charged this one up, and I have set up a model. I have this thing set up in the DX6E already, and I wasn't going to make a video showing that because A, I would be fumbling all around and it would probably be more of a comedy routine than an educational or instructional video, so I chose not to do that. So I do have the Spectrum DX6E set up already. I haven't pulled this out of the bag yet. This is the first time I pulled this out. Oh no, I take that back. I did use this for transmitter setup, the DX series transmitter setup. I did go through this and I set up you know, all the exponentials, the dual rates, what they're recommending for this. So the only thing really left for me to do is to bind this thing, get a piece of tape or something, at least temporarily, and put on this thing, find where the CG should be, bind it, and then turn it on and test the control surfaces. So this thing is kind of cool because, I mean, they make it such a big deal in the advertisement and everything about it has LED lights. And I'm like, so who cares? So it's got these LED lights. So what? I'm not flying at night. So in the daytime, can you really see those lights? So I mean, some of this electric stuff is just such a bunch of, so stupid, it's not even funny. So they've got LED lights on here as an additional power drain, when I'd probably rather be flying longer than having lights illuminated, but it is what it is. But this is a cool little plane, and granted my partner's property doesn't have any kind of finished runway at all, so I won't be taking this off from the ground. What I'm going to end up having to do with this is, you know, hand launching it, which is not a problem. I've done that before. It's not an issue. The only issue would be on the very first flight. Would be interesting to make sure A, I've got the CG right, and B, that it looks like everything should be more or less trimmed out. At least right now, I'll have to wait and see what kind of trims I need to put on once I bind it and turn the radio on and activate the plane. But anyway, so this is going to be fun for me, at least. Hopefully it'll be fun for you, because what I'd like to attempt to do is I'd like to try to attempt filming me flying this thing. Now, I don't have a run cam, I don't have a hat cam anymore, I don't have anything like that. What I do have is the camera that I'm using right here, but I also have another camera that might have a wider angle lens on it. So there's an area on my partner's property where there's just this little field, and I can't tell you what the dimensions of the field are, but it's been mowed down to a certain level. The prairie grass is probably, I don't know, maybe chest high. But what I would do is I would be flying right over that and simulating, you know, actually dusting that. So I don't have any intention of taking this up really high and flying it, because I'd like to be able to see what I'm flying. So this thing is going to be interesting because I'm going to really be flying this thing as low as possible. And if you go back and look in my playlist on electric flights, I have that little, I think I have like 3 or 4 videos when I had the little P-47 park flyer, and I was flying that thing probably no more than 15 feet in the air most of the time, and a lot of times a lot lower than that, about this high, just because it was fun to do. And so that's what I intend to do with this thing, is get out there, get some stick time, start flying again. And I only have 2 batteries, so I'll go out to her place with 2 batteries charged, and then that'll be it, because the charger I've got is not something I can plug into my vehicle and charge, because it just doesn't have that current capability to do that. But so that's the plan with this thing. No, I am not giving up on glow engines. I'm not giving up on glow at all. I'm not giving up on the idea of building balsa and flying balsa. This is simply to fulfill a desire I have to get back in the air, and it happened to come available at a very, very reasonable price, brand new. In fact, I got this and the batteries for less than what it lists for, much less than what this thing lists for. So it's like, okay, fine. This is what I'm going to do. Don't hate me because I'm flying an electric plane now, because it's only one and I'm probably not ever going to be buying any more. But this is going to at least get me in the air, and so I can enjoy flying again quicker than it might be. So anyway, that's it for this video, and hopefully I'll be able to make some halfway decent videos using this camera or another one. Maybe I'll set up 2 with 2 different angles over the field and try to do some flying that way. So thank you for watching.